So a lot of people keep telling you if you just throw 300 feet, you're going to throw 90 miles an hour. I can tell you right now that's not accurate. When I was throwing 300 feet, I wasn't throwing 90 miles an hour. In fact, I didn't start throwing 90 miles an hour until I really limited how much long toss I was doing on a day-to-day basis. So what does long toss actually do? So long toss is not a strength builder like many people will tell you it is. They say it's going to build arm strength. It does build arm endurance because you're putting some more mileage on there, but what it's doing is actually building range of motion, right? It's getting you to rotate the torso faster. So yes, in itself, those things can help you throw harder, but unless you have the strength built within the shoulder and those supporting and stabilizing muscles, the long toss itself, you're going to end up just like I was, where you actually kind of stagnate or even regress on velocity until you build the appropriate strength that you're going to need. So the reason that it builds more layback, which, if you have range of motion problems, yeah, long toss is going to be great, is because you're actually using that torso on a little higher angle, which is going to force more layback as you pull that torso through, and you're going to have to rotate faster. So again, it is not a strength builder, it's an endurance builder, and it helps you get a little more range of motion, especially on the external rotation side. So long toss, again, if it was there to build strength, you'd have zero injuries from people that long toss. Obviously, long toss is there's plenty of research out there that shows that long toss actually puts more stress on the arm than pitching. So if that was something that was not going to beat you up, then we wouldn't see that in the published research. So is long toss good? Yes, but we need to make sure that we're doing it appropriately, and I have a couple examples to go over. Athlete we're going to touch on, he came to me using one of my 12-week plans because he was in a lot of arm pain. He wasn't injured. He'd had MRIs, different things like that. He just wasn't feeling good. So, their coach at their college where he was at, they wanted him just to keep long tossing, which in itself is not bad advice, right? But what we got him doing is we got him on the arm care device. We tested his strength, and we found a really weak arm. So I actually have his data. I'll pull it up here and show it with you guys. But he started out at 64% of his body weight and very weak in his arm in general, right? So the big thing that we wanted to do there was we wanted to build the strength first. So we actually shortened up his throwing, and he wasn't buying into that process because he was so ingrained that the long toss is going to solve these problems, even though he'd been continually doing that, long tossing 4 or 5 days a week without any real progress. So it took him 12 weeks to finally go, look, I've been stagnant. I'm not making any progress. Something's not going right. And then he did another 12-week block, and that's where he started buying in. And once he started buying in, and we started just wave loading his throwing of having high days, low days, we gave him 2 long toss days with at least a 72-hour break between, he started all of a sudden get out of pain, his velo started going up, and then all of a sudden he actually started throwing more strikes as well. Now, one of the big reasons for that is obviously as you get a stronger arm, yes, you're going to be more repeatable in different positions. You're going to be more repeatable at release point, so you're going to just naturally throw more strikes. But also, you're going to allow your nervous system and your muscles and everything to de-inflame more as you're going, which a less inflamed body is going to be more repeatable as well. So everything that he was doing with the daily long toss was stacking the deck against him for actually building that performance in. So as we started to wave load it, we started to see performance increase. So he's just finishing up his third 12-week plan. He's getting ready to head back out to school here next week, but we've seen a huge improvement in strike percentage. I think his last bullpen, he's been in that 85 to 90%, which is awesome for a strike percentage in a practice setting. In a game, obviously, we don't want it that high, but in a practice setting, yeah, we want to be there. We're seeing more depth on a breaking ball. We're seeing more arm side run on the changeup, and we're seeing a lot more ride on the fastball. And most importantly, he's out of pain, which when we're out of pain means we can compete at a much better clip. So is long toss bad? No, it's not inherently bad, but it's also not inherently good, right? So yes, I love long toss, especially when you start getting into the positions where, this player gained. He went from 142 pounds of total arm strength to where he's now finished at 283 pounds of total arm strength. So we're seeing a huge jump and improvement there. And we're just building a whole bunch, or 217 pounds, my bad. 217 pounds of total arm strength, and he started out at 119. So he started out at a lower base than I thought. I actually got those numbers flipped. I was reading the wrong column there, but he ended up going up to 217 pounds of arm strength. So huge improvements there. And his SVR, which is the strength velocity ratio arm care uses, started out at a 1.47, which again, when we're looking at that data, that tells me we are not ready to start long tossing. We're not ready to handle the range of motion changes that come with long toss when your SVR is that low. It just says we don't have the strength to support it. Now, his SVR is at a 2.83, and that was the number that I confused her by just glancing over here. So as we build that SVR and we start being able to have the strength to handle more velocity, we're able to handle the range of motion that comes with it, and that's where we start making a lot of progress. So if you guys have any questions, go ahead and visit Armcare. It's a great product, it's a great system. Individuals, I think everybody should honestly use that as their baseline for prepping a pitcher. I use it with every single one of my athletes, and it's a difference maker. If you have any questions about those 12-week plans, feel free to reach out, email me. If you just have any questions, leave a comment. We'll get back to you. We'll make sure that we get back and reply to you. We'll keep making these videos, and hopefully it's helping somebody.